so glad you could join me today again. Today, I thought we could do a simple painting, nothing too complicated, something to keep at a beginner's level. Later on in the series, I might do it more advanced, but for now, I'm doing it at a beginner's level. And I thought today we could do a quite simple painting. Let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and double prime meaning 2 layers of gesso. It has no medium, my medium's to the side, in a cup, and I got my brushes and all that laying out. I forgot one of my palette knives over here to the side. I was cleaning my palette and I forgot about it and I was scraping off some paint. But rather than that, we could get started with today's painting. Hopefully they finish running the colors across the screen. And how I said, today's going to be the simple painting. Each series should have a crazy painting, hard painting, and a simple painting. And I thought today could be that simple painting. So I'm just going into a little bit of phthalo blue with my 2-inch brush and dip my brush into some medium to thin out that paint. Maybe a little bit of white. And when I'm painting this, you guys could use so many different colors. You can use Prussian blue, you could use ultramarine blue. There's so many types of different shades of each of my colors, and it's personal preference. I just like the colors I have. Ooh, that's pretty dark. You know what? We gotta let loose at times. Gotta let luck take over and just show us what the random things could come out. This is a painting where it will help you boost your confidence if you're not too confident in how your paintings come out. You just do this painting and it's simple enough where it should help you boost your confidence. And I think I'm gonna add some challenges here and there just so I can really I can test you a bit and you can say, well, if I could go over those challenges, I could go over anything. And that's the mentality of painting. You can't just be afraid to stay in one spot. You have to let loose and just go at it. Usually takes me a while with this. I'm gonna just scrub it on. Maybe like that, it's quick. Yeah, much quicker. I watched Bob Ross growing up, and I would like to say I'm inspired by him. That's the main reason why I started painting. But I see him always going little by little, and I could never. I lose my patience. I'm gonna start doing that more often, just scrubbing the paint rather than X marks. Plus, that way, there's more paint on one side, less paint, so on and so forth. Just going into pure phthalo blue, just to sort of darken up those corners a bit. Now I do need a little bit of crisscross strokes, but here in the top, I can get away with scrubbing. There we go. Now let's have a crazy cloud going up in here. I'm gonna go into a little bit of ivory black, mix it with phthalo blue, ivory black, phthalo blue, and maybe a touch of titanium white. Just load it up until you have the color you think you want. Now let's come up here, let's have a nice cloud. I want my cloud, I think this one's gonna be a stormy cloud. Maybe there's a storm that might come later on the day, and this is the warning. Just like so. You know what? I'm actually gonna show you guys a technique that maybe not a lot of you know, and this will help avoid less color pollution, your colors getting polluted and all that. Just here and there, putting in a few little clouds. Okay, I was not prepared for this because I was not expecting this, but you guys could look at my painting while I'm grabbing what I need to grab to demonstrate the technique. So what I'm grabbing is some blue shop towels. These are like napkins, but mechanics use them or something like so. I don't really know much, but you put it on and it should be able to absorb most of your paint that's on. Look at that. You just want to put on and sort of rub a bit, very lightly. Okay, something like so. And I'm gonna remove the excess paint on off my brush, my fan brush. Now, let me clean my white, the white that's polluted. Now let's go into a fan brush. You see I separated some white. It's the same white I just put in a pile. Let's come up here and sort of just highlight it. You see how it's not blending as much? You have more liberty. And if you leave it on for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it'll act like if your paint's dry. Okay? And look at this. You grab the corner of your brush and very gentle, just the bottom of each section. It's gonna blend when you do that. So we gotta go back and give it a nice little extra highlight. But you don't want to lose all your dark, because then it defeats the purpose of having put that dark color. It defeats the purpose. So you want to, if you're gonna do this, leave some of that color out. Some of that color showing. Something like so. Brush it. Okay. Over here, just a bit. Lift up. and go across. And those stringy clouds, I call these floaters because they just float around in the sky. Just a little highlight. Can't have these left out, can you? We'll come back to it. We can add more paint later on. Now, let's go ahead with the brush I use for the base color. We're gonna go into some ivory black, load that brush up, and with my fan brush, just start to decide where I want my distant evergreen trees to live. Just like so. Just the top corner or bottom corner of your brush. As long as you're only using one corner of your brush. You tap and you sort of slide down. When one side finishes the paint, flip it. You have paint on both sides of your brush, not just one. And if they're too far away, like if I do that and that, it's gonna look like a fence post. Just go back and fill it in. Problem solved. Okay. Now, with the 2-inch brush, tap the base so you have a solid color. Oops, my second angle started to fail me. Or at least the tripod did. I'll fix that up right now. And just lift upwards. Up, up, up. To give you that look of some sharp, distant trees. Just like that. Now let me fix my second angle, because you guys gotta see what I'm doing. You guys gotta be able to see it, not have to guess. Okay, so we have that. I think we're gonna leave it at that for now. But let's go into a little bit of our ivory black. Let me get some medium out. Ivory black. Thin down. And just, I think I want, well, I know I want some land here. So just covering it up. I do gotta bring it to your attention though, when you're scrubbing your brush the way I'm scrubbing it, it can wear your brush down pretty quick. So I would suggest you use an old brush. This is one of my older brushes. That's why I'm doing it with this one. So just scrub it, scrub. Go across to kind of get that even, semi-even coating. Load up a bit more paint onto my brush. This is your workout of the day. If you didn't get your workout in, this will work. At least your arm out. It would have taken me much longer if I was tapping the paint on. Whew, I would have been at like 25 minutes by that. Okay, now we're gonna add some grass. So let me go same dirty brush into some cadmium yellow. And since I haven't cleaned my brush, the color will turn into a green color. Let's come up here. Just like so. Just by tapping, you have all these crazy things going on. Guys, in the comments section below, make sure ask questions. I'm trying to do a Q&A and I need some questions in order to be able to answer them. So send me your questions. I won't respond to them, but I'm gonna accumulate them so I could have a video where it's pure answering your questions. If it's related to painting. If it's more personal, you might just have to put it to the side. Even though I doubt you guys are gonna ask personal questions. But just putting out that disclaimer. If it's personal, it's going to the side. But any painting question is welcome. I'll answer your painting related questions. That's looking pretty good. You have to stand back and admire your work. Many artists give themselves a hard time. You have to appreciate your work. You have to be able to say, I like it. It looks good. I'm a good painter. You have to be able to appreciate in order to enjoy the moment. Okay, I'm gonna go into more cadmium yellow. Where's the sun hitting? I'm assuming somewhere around here. So notice how it looks like a line just hitting. That's what I want to make it seem like. I want to make it seem like it's that extra lighting. Okay, now I'm going to pull some cadmium yellow to the side. Sorry about that. And a little bit of alizarin crimson. Start off with a little bit because once you go too much red, it's hard to go back. Just load up your brush. Mix up the paint first, then load up your brush. I'm gonna get a clean 2-inch brush. Clean 2-inch brush. You can beat the bristles to open it. Going into that cadmium yellow and alizarin crimson. You can also use bright red. I would suggest bright red. And I want it to seem like there's a new layer. And that new layer of land tends to be orange. You can adjust it to any color or any height or how low you want it. It's all up to you. You have the power. You have the power and the duty to do it. You should be able to satisfy your needs. Now, I gotta load up more paint and mix up more. Just mixing up more that orange color. You can also use Indian yellow. I think Indian yellow would be a good match for this too. Maybe a bit more red. But you see, it's like yellow-orange. Just like so. When painting with this style, you use quite the amount of paint. You can't be shy. You cannot be shy with this style. Shoot, I got some paint on my hand. I was trying to roll up my sleeve a bit more. And when you're painting, I suggest you invest in apron because you can get paint all over your clothes. Sometimes you won't even notice you have paint on your clothes until someone calls it out and says, "Why you have paint on your clothes?" And you're like, "I have paint? What? Let me see." You check it out and you have paint after all. You say, "Man, when did that happen?" And you start saying, "I wish I had an apron." And I'm telling you this because I've been through it. So, strongly suggest you invest in an apron. Something like so. Let me bring out that corner out. But the reason why I have it go down is so we can identify that new layer. Okay, I think that's just about right. And you can call this a finished painting, but I'm gonna add a few things here and there, and I'll wrap it up. A little bit of ivory black and some dark sienna just on my fan brush. Let's come up here. Where do I want my tree to live? It lives here now. And the more pressure you apply to your brush, the more wider it gets. Okay? You know what? You can add a few little tree limbs just by using your fan brush. You don't have to use a script liner. Look at this. And if you want to go crazy, you can have one go around and all that. Maybe just like so. Okay. Now, I am going to put some highlights, but I want a little bit of that orangey color. And then let's add some white, a little bit more orange, orangey yellow, maybe a bit of red. Cut a roll. Let's come up here. Where's the light hitting it? I think it's coming like somewhere around here. I'm gonna add a bit more of the dark sienna. Just a bit. It's like brown orangey color. Okay. Dark sienna, ivory black. Let's come up here. Okay. Now, with my fan brush, I'm gonna load up some of our highlight color. Just highlight some of these limbs, tree branches or limbs, however you know them as. Something like so. And just like that, you have a tree. Isn't that so simple? Now, before I leave, last thing I at least want is a fence. Don't tell me why. I am not sure. But I feel like a fence just belongs here. Maybe this is where a guy used to come and read his book, and just to be safe, just to keep some people out, he put a fence in. Gotta make up these stories, man. Stories help. Dark sienna, orange, and white, the color we mixed up for the tree, here and there. Okay. And for the wiring or the other wood, just some white. I want to make it look like some wire. I think I'm satisfied with that. I think I like the outcome of the way this painting turned out. Well, I get stuck on it. I thank you for joining me today. Today it was a simple one, as you can see, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.